Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first TBR of 2025. My name is Jenny. I'm really happy to be able to share this with you today. I had a thought at the end of 2024 about whether or not people still watch TBR videos, because I notice a lot of the booktubers that I follow do not do TBR videos at all anymore unless it's a special TBR for a readathon or something like that. But then when I'm looking at my channel, usually some of my most watched videos are my monthly TBRs. So despite the fact that it doesn't seem like a lot of people make these videos anymore, I enjoy making them. I enjoy keeping track of my reading each month, and you guys seem to like watching them. So yeah, that's a curious thing. I think a lot of booktubers just don't do it anymore. So if you have opinions on that, on whether or not you do watch these, you don't watch these, you like them, you don't like them, I'd love to hear your comments down below. So I have a lot going on in January. Full disclosure, it's a crazy month for me. I am moving. I am traveling for a week. I have pieces to deliver for exhibitions. I have projects that I'm working on. I have a crazy month. And so my reading is mostly for pure pleasure. But I'm also leading some things. Some things are happening. So in case you didn't know, I'm going to start off with the book club that I am now running on my Patreon. So we are going to be reading The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. This is a very popular book. It has been going around in the creative circles for, I think, 2 years. I think it came out in 2023. And I am going to be leading a book club on this. So we will be having over a 3-month period. We're going to be reading this book in 3 sections. We're going to have a monthly post and a monthly live chat where you can share your thoughts. In those live chats, I will also be, we'll be talking about the concepts in here, talking about how they can apply to your creative life. So if you're a creative person, you've always wanted to read this, you'd like to read it in community, head on over to my Patreon, check it out, see if you're interested in joining in. I think it's going to be a great conversation, and I'm really excited to finally get to this, to dissect the concepts that Rick Rubin talks about, and to have accountability around how to manifest those in your creative life. So I will be reading this in the month of January, but leading the discussion of it from January through March. As I said, I wanted to pick some books this month that are kind of easy reading, that are not books that are going to, require too much thinking on my part. So I've picked a couple of novels that I feel like should be compelling, but not too overly require too many brain cells. One of them is The Heretic's Daughter by Kathleen Kent. I actually don't even remember what this book is about. It's been on my library TBR list for a very long time, and so I picked this up. I believe it is historical fiction, and I believe it obviously has something to do with religion and a young woman who kind of struggles with her place in the wider world. I am carrying over one book from my December TBR, and that is a memoir called Time Was Soft There by Jeremy Mercer. This is his story of going to Paris and becoming part of the Shakespeare and Company bookstore family. And so I didn't get that one finished in December, and I've carried it over into my January reading. The other novels that I'm going to read this month are The Future by Catherine Leroux, translated from the French by Suzanne Oriou. This was a finalist on the Canada Reads competition last year in 2024, and I saw that it was on audiobook, and I thought it might be a fun audio listen. So this is a future dystopian set in, I think, just southern Ontario or the Michigan area, and that's all I really remember about it. Like I remember people talking about there's some children and an older lady in the story, and it's kind of about a community and how they live and how they're tackling the world that has manifested. So I'm interested to see this. This will be my first Catherine LaRue novel. And the other novel I'll be reading is part of my Fresh Reads project, which will have its own video, which will be coming out after this one. And that is Landscapes by Christine Lay. And I heard about this on Sean Breed's Books channel when he interviewed Christine Lay as one of his mystery guests. I thought that the book sounded really interesting. I believe it is about a woman going to an old house to catalog some art or books or something. And I have read other books with that topic, like with that subject. Bear by Marian Engel is a good example. And I love that as a concept, going to this old house, having to interact with it to do something, and then have it change you somehow. I think it's a great book. It's a great story. It's a great way to watch a character evolve. And then I've also put on here another nonfiction book, A Map to the Door of No Return by Dionne Brand. This is, I believe, Dionne Brand's exploration of colonialism and belonging. Excuse me. So she's looking at the way displaced people are, how we create belonging, where that comes from, and why it might be elusive to so many of us. So that's an interesting topic, a topic that I'm exploring a lot for my artwork. And so I thought I would hopefully take that book with me on a trip I'm taking very, very soon, an artist residency, and I'll be reading it there. And then the last book that I've got on my TBR is this lovely little volume, Wool Gathering by Patti Smith, which I got as a surprise Christmas gift. So I believe that this book, this luminous book tells of a child finding herself as she learns the noble vocation of wool gathering, a worthy calling that seemed a good job for me. She discovers, often at night, often in nature, the pleasures of rescuing a fleeting thought. Wool gathering summons our own memories as the child glimpses and gleans, piecing together a crazy quilt of truths. Smith shares the fierce vital pleasures of stargazing and wandering, and her afterward opens new horizons in the scarcely charted landscape of memory governed by clouds. So I'm a big Patti Smith fan in terms of her persona. I really love Just Kids. I also really loved Monkey Bench, I don't remember. I'll put the title here. I usually listen to her books on audio, but look at this. Look how sweet it is. And it's also got photos in it. So you can see it's lovely. It's laid out really beautifully. So I'm excited to just dip in and out of this over the next month or two, probably a month. It's pretty short. And I'll report back in my reading wrap up as to my thoughts on this. Okay, that's my January TBR. I'm so glad that you're here, that you watched this video. Thank you so much. Consider subscribing. If you like TBR videos, I make one every month. If you like wrap-up videos, I make one every month. If you like studio vlogs, because I'm an artist too, I make one every month. These are things that I do and put on here, and I'm happy for you to enjoy if you feel so inclined. And I'm really excited about going into another year on BookTube and sharing my reading and hearing about what everyone else is reading. And I want to wish you the very best of the year ahead. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again soon with another video.